Hello, everybody, and welcome to MadReaction Ep.2. And today we're going to look into the good old Manchester, whatever this is, student union, I think it is. It feels like it. Like something that's crawled out of a student union one night, died on the street, and then was resurrected. But yes, this will be Episode 2. And on with me today, as always, is Ralph. How are you doing, Ralph?
Good morning.
Morgan, yes.
I'm all right, man.
It's fantastic. Hey, before we start, I'm actually going to open up to you see our logo's a little bit bare, and we kind of want to have something that like defines our little experiment here. So if any of you arty types out there want to get involved and design us a logo with MadReaction as the title and the background even, feel free to send us a message on Telegram with your suggestions. Should be good. I mean, I'm not arty in any sense of the way. I could probably put like Play-Doh together, but that's it. Anyway, I think we'll get into the meat and potatoes of today of the video. And as always, we're on DLive. If you're watching over there, say hello. I'll be in the chat shortly. Yeah, so Ralph, I think we'll start, shall we?
Yeah.
Rip and tear, boys. Let's go. And there we go. It is right here. Something I made earlier. Right. Let's go then.
Right, no! Right! Lazy!
Oh my God. So, I mean, the first thing I saw this, I thought like, what, like a homoerotic homage? What the fuck was that? Was that meant to be the Homo Heinrich maneuver or something, right? Where the guy's behind him. He's literally, if you imagine a dog, when the dogs kind of clutch and they try to shag something like someone's leg. That's all I saw, mate. I just looked at it, I thought, fucking hell, you really need to not do that. And then, of course, they fall back and they're obviously showing their little underwear lines, right? I mean, you look at this, you think, Jesus Christ. Have you ever seen Sherlock Holmes, the series?
Yes, the new one, yeah.
Yeah, the new one where he looked at, he looks at Moriarty and, he knows who he is. And he says, look, I saw him with the underwear line. And you look at this, you think, fucking hell. All right, so you got these two gay guys, yeah. Are they a couple? Do you even know anything about them? Have you done our research?
From how close and intimate they are, I guess they are, because I mean, if anyone ever did that to me, they get a punch, I swear.
Yeah, and this also like, I mean, but like, mate, I mean, all right, how do these two gay guys defend England? Let's listen in, man. It should be good. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes.
Let's see. Oh my God.
Why were you trying to kill yourself again, Roy? What was it this time? No, Lacey, you've got it all wrong, brother. I've been saved, brother. You were just swallowing pills, Roy.
What's with all the fucking touchy? What's with the hands kind of touching? There's usually a lot of like touching over there, mate. I don't know. Is that just you?
Very effeminate. I don't know any men that really touch each other like this.
Touch each other like that, lie like that, have their pants pulled down to show the top of their undies. You're like, mate, boys, come on. You're not going camping with me ever, right? Like,
are you sure this isn't Bristol? Are we not in Bristol? This isn't Manchester, right?
I don't know where it is, mate. Matching underwear. No, Roy said, yeah, they've got the same undies. So hang on a minute. Whoa, no. I was trying not to look that way, Rory, mate. But now that you mention it, they seem to be the same. Do they swapsies with the undies? What do they do here? God,
can you imagine? Maybe they buy them in bulk and they can't tell whose is whose. So one week, when
But
they
this
house
is-
share their
But if you just
laundry.
do the body language analysis, right? The guy on the right, which one is he? She's called Lacey, right?
Yeah,
So
she's got
she's just got a hand kind of like just flopping down in the guy's fucking stomach. And the bad news is he doesn't seem to care. There's no kind of reaction like, "Oi, what are you touching here, mate?" It's just like a little, okay, so okay, you guys are going to defend against their hordes of foreigners, aren't you? You can see a lot of foreign alpha men looking at the two of you, going, "Yeah, this is worrying us. Let's not stop any of the gang stabbing shit because Roy and Lacey are in town."
oh,
I'm based now. I was overdosing on white pills, Lacey. Don't you see?
No, I'm very confused. What the fuck are you talking about?
I've been saved, and I can save you, Lacey. I'm an ethno-nationalist now.
That sounds awful.
I mean, this is meant to be satire, right? They say they're a satirical channel, right? So are they actually ethno-nationalists? They're just being like this, or what? It's very confusing. They're very confusing people. I don't
But they
understand.
claim they're satirical, but satire requires characteristics like exaggeration, etc. No one in the
That was so
ethno-nationalist movement.
monotone delivery.
Yeah, no one looks like this in that movement, dresses like this. Last time I checked, no one. I can't imagine Mark Collette rubbing his fingers through, for example, Jason's hair. I've never seen him lovingly kind of like, sort of run his fingers through someone's hair. I've never seen this kind of behavior. That's even slightly hinting of heterosexuality here. There's not a hint of heterosexuality in this scene right now. But go on, lads. I use that in quotes. Tell us all about it. Huh?
Lacey, I think the best way to explain this to you would be how I've had it explained to me.
We're kooky and we're tasteless, white pilled and the basis. We swear we are not racist, but it ends in genocide.
Just the way they actually land, the lack of coordination, just the fatigue move, like he just sits down like, and they kind of almost try to sort of discombobulate their way in the chair. And then they try this kind of fake, kind of like this guy on the right. Which one is she? She's Rory, right? She tries a little fake air punch, like I'm getting myself ready for this. Huh? Okay, but let's hear from them. Let's listen to the wisdom. I'm going to hear from the logic, mate.
The fuck you managed to get that pink? What the hell happened?
Haha. Well, you know that sounds like genocide, right?
I did say genocide in the song, Lacey. That's just my sense of humor now that I'm based and white-pilled. I like memes now, like Pepe the Frog meme. And the best one, all your base are belong to us, Mimi.
Is that funny?
No.
Is it really witty or clever? It's like if you look at all the idiots who follow us, like the Banksies and these and that, the atheist Steve, they're all like fucking a decade behind any humor, aren't they? They're trying to get about a decade behind, aren't they? Because you look at this and you think 2012 and stuff, this would have been like almost candidate for humor, but like you're like,
this
mate,
is left-wing humor in a nutshell. It's just not funny.
It's not funny. It's at all. It's hard to explain to people if forget the cringe, forget your politics, boys, you're not funny at all. How old are they? They look like their late 30s, early 40s. They look like they're a bunch of fucking students, like dirty, disheveled, disgusting. I mean, and then they try to be funny. It's not funny, mate. You're just not funny. Yeah, don't try this. No.
Yeah, genocide. Yeah. Right. Okay, detailed, unbased. I'm back in the game, Lace. I'm back in the game.
No one has ever gone from being
Yeah, based.
Yeah,
No,
based
mate,
or unbased ever.
Yeah, what does that actually even mean? I mean,
Once
what
you're
do you mean?
basted, you're basted for life, basically.
Yeah, but what does it actually mean? It's like it's almost like he feels like you take this pill, there's some sort of transformation in you, you suddenly are re-racinated, and then you look around and you go like, hang on, no, I'm not white anymore, right? I'm just decided I used to be deracinated, now I'm racinated. I've looked around and go, no, I prefer to be deracinated. Okay. Interesting how that works, yeah. Come on. I find the aesthetics really, sorry, Mad Mate. I just find the aesthetics really disturbing. Is this the peak of white Western civilization? Is this what happened?
This is the new male. New male.
Is this the new male? I mean,
yes.
It's just really quite, disturbing. I mean, I'm here for the logic, but I'm telling you, aesthetically, I'm having difficulty with this shit, right? And the guy on the left, I'm like, what's with the skull and the pink? One represents death and violence.
It's My Little Pony, my friend. It's My Little Pony.
There's My Little Pony, but there's the My Little Pony. You can understand that because he's obviously flaming, right? He's flaming. He's pretty in pink. He's pretty in pink. But then he's got the skull and crossbow. I mean, what's with the skull stuff over that? Is that the kind of? Is that like? I don't get it, man. The optics. Terrible.
We've penetrated the edgy liberal kind of like fringe that's just before civic nationalism.
And the guy on the left, she just keeps the way she looks at him. It's a longing look, like she's just going to kiss him or something. Really, just vile at this point, right? It's like anyway. Tell us about ethno-nationalism, dear Manchester lads.
The humor with this lot, it's all claimed to be humor. They're laughing about things on Twitter, such as, look at this woman mixing with an African person. She's devalued her genes. Ultimately, Lacey, it is just racism, isn't it?
Oh, no. Let's start. Here's your first logical point. No, you know what the problem is, mate? Here's the problem, Roy. What should I call the girl on the right? Listen up, Roy. Here's the problem, mate. First of all, I'm not fucking white, so you can take it from me. There's only going to be 800 million white people left, mate. Only 800 million white people left. Any attempt to dilute the remaining 800 million white people is not a good thing for white people. You don't consider that racism. Consider protection of the genetic stock. Now, you can call me a Nazi, what you like, but I ain't white, so I'm not buying that shit. 800 million white people left, of which if you divide that by 2, there's only 400 million women. You take that at fertile age, you're talking about less than 40 million white breeding age women left, right? And you think protecting them is racism, or do you think it's self-preservation? Unless you think it's okay for white people to be wiped off the planet, in which case you've got a point. If you don't care if white people are lost, but you care about the rhino or you want to shave the whales, right? But if you care that white people should be allowed to carry on, then it's a moral position. There's nothing nasty about it at all, right? But then he goes, but therefore racism, right? You're like, whatever, Trevor.
Unfortunately, it is.
How do you make the country better after that? Who else are you sending packing?
It's a complete branding.
From what I can see, they don't like gay people as is.
It's like the whole thing's based on like fear and like anger and like, oh shit, they're coming for my stuff.
To be fair, I think
What was that?
Well, I don't know who the other women are, if they're lesbians or what they are. I'm going to fat shame the one on the right in a bit, but I'm going to hold my fat shaming off for her because she's a vile creature. There's nothing feminine about her at all. But he addresses point number 2. Is there fear and is there anger in white people? Anger would be a later stage, but is there fear? Yes, there is. There's a distinct fear because European people, Western liberal European societies look around and they see what's happening to their culture that they were given for over arguably 2,000 years. So if they are fearful, are you telling us in the nationalist movement that fear is either unfounded or not a valid emotional response? When they see Rotherham, they see Telford, they see stabbings, they see the benefits of this great enrichment just ripping their society to pieces, shredding English society. And do you think that if the emotional response to that is fear, then the only point is, look, they're fearful of this thing happening, therefore this fear is unbiased. Look, they're scared. Well, I think that's a healthy fear.
It is,
I think it's a fear we want to be playing right into. So you tell me why it's wrong to be fearful when the government of the UK will not publish the grooming gang report. What's wrong with this fear, mate? I mean, I don't think the two of you would be feeling very multicultural if I had 20, let's just say, people from another country want to gang rape you guys. I think you'd be screaming for the ethno-nationalists at that point. You'd be screaming for white collectivization. You'd be come get me, or maybe you wouldn't. I don't know.
Maybe they would. They'd gladly, gladly.
I'd be more happy with the dissident right if they didn't try to pretend to be like some sort of legitimate political movement. Just accept it. Just say I'm a racist.
Yes, I'm a racist.
I'm a racist. There you go. I'm a racist. Yeah. What? So now what? Do you think I'm saying I'm a racist has no God? I'll tell you what, you're going to use a little analogy of saying, oh, I'm a racist, for example, when you're going to talk about this job interview. Do you wander into job interviews talking about your drug use and degeneracy? Do you wander around the street saying, hey, hi, I'm a drug addict? Do you say that?
Probably.
No,
yes, they probably do.
Because you live in a social
I self-identify as a drug addict.
But just 50 years ago, it's not even 50 years ago, 30 years ago, it's okay to be racist on television, mate. On television, right? The only thing is your left-wing SJW culture has taken that away, and we're here to put it back again. And if you call me a racist, I'll tell you I'm much worse than that, mate.
But the thing is, before he's also talking about, they can they stop pretending to be a legitimate political movement? Well, that's the goal. We're not there yet, but we will be. And then all this crime is going to be like tenfold. So bring it on.
Yes, it's just the alt-right. The alt-right, and then it didn't go so well.
What?
What do you mean? The alt-right changed everything. The fact that the alt-right sunk its ship because of we know what and we know who doesn't mean that the movement's over. It's just back in its second version. It's not going anywhere until there's an ethno-state or war, mate. Then you understand that? The alt-right, the dissident right is going nowhere unless there's an ethno-state or conflict or defeat. Right now, defeat's not on the table, but they're it's just the alt-right. You mean the entire? If you imagine that pivotal fucking event in world media is when that one lad shouted Pepe to Hillary Clinton in that hall, and you had the mass media meltdown, going, "What the hell was that? What is Pepe? What's a frog?" And you're worried. You're saying it's just the alt-right. We're much better than the alt-right. This is alt-right 2.0, mate. Right? And we're coming for people like you. I'm going to shave you both against your will on a live stream. You're both getting a number 1 and number 2, and then you're both going to stop doing feminine movements. You're going to be doing some push-ups, yeah.
This is the point where they waded in to the lion's den, and they literally. This is the title of the show. When the time that cuck actually for permission, they've just given us permission to destroy them.
Yeah.
So here we go.
No one liked them. And so they kind of tried to wrap it up and present it as something different.
Something new.
We grew up in Manchester. And I've always been very, very proud of Manchester. You've got your Asian people, you've got your people.
Yes.
Diversity for thee. Where are all the Asian and black people in your fucking shag pad? None of them. They all seem to be white liberals. You've got some Americans. Where are the Asians and the black people in your fucking situation? Where I don't see any of them. Do you? Do you see a single black person or brown? Oh no, a diversity for thee, but not for me. In fact, none of them would hang out with you, would you? I know lots of brown and black collective mayors who would think you were fags and pussies, and they wouldn't fucking talk to you. They'd want to smack you up for acting like what they call a batty boy. Right? Because these two batty boys, isn't it? You batty boys.
In it, bro.
In it, fam. You batty boys are not speaking for the black people of Manchester. I can assure you you're not. And I know you're not speaking for the Muslim males who also would like to throw your buildings, mate. Yeah, so, I'm so proud that these guys let us run around and I can I can run my fingers through Lacey's hair. What the fuck is this with these people, man?
His front hair.
Oh.
It's not the front hole. It's his front hair.
We have the one for Waze. Waze is in the chat. And Waze makes a good point. Pinky has no stage presence. It's almost like Pinky's the female, and the other one is the bigger female.
Yeah, there we go. Pinky in the brain.
Pinky in the brain. Or, God forbid, Pinky anywhere else, right?
You've got lesbian couples, you've got gay couples.
Fantastic. Whoopee-doo.
Yeah, so Notice again a logical contradiction that liberals often have. They claim to speak for a collective, but that collective, what is that collective? I'm so proud of Manchester, not because of Manchester, the Industrial Revolution, everything that came out of the glory of Victorian England from Manchester. No, I'm proud of Manchester because it allows my blacks, my Muslims, my gays, my lesbians all to live together in harmony. You mean you're not actually proud of Manchester? You're proud of liberal values, right? That's all it is, right? Degenerate liberal values, right? And the guy on the left is just really, just really needs a shower. I don't know what it is. He looks sweaty and just really just wrong.
You see everything here in Manchester. And I've always been very proud to be from this area. To me, Manchester taught me to never judge anyone.
Yet here you are. Judging us. And you say Manchester taught me never. Did it? Did Manchester not teach you tribal pride? Arguably the biggest football team in the world comes from Manchester. You see Man City shirts across the world. You see Nashville, people say Manchester, they think Man U. They don't think a bunch of lesbians, gays, and a couple of guys who like to flick each other off or whatever you guys do in that. And just out of curiosity, who's the third sexual victim?
Yes.
This guy in his underpants.
Yes.
He just keeps wandering by. Was he what the two of you ate the night before? Or what the hell is this shit? Right? What is this? You are going to defend England. If I was an Englishman, I would be ashamed of my fellow Englishmen.
You're going to BTFO the ethno-nationalist with a guy in his underpants with a beer at like 9 a.m. in the morning.
Well, clearly looks inebriated, or at least in some post-sexualized, drug-induced coma. Right?
You know what? The section they did is the like little round table they've got. It was just like that was the session. And the night, and this is the morning after, and they thought, it's a good idea. Let's BTFO the ethno-nationalist. Someone got so drunk they looked up some kind of video on ethno-nationalists.
No, I think they're coming. They're organizing against us, mate. We saw all the traitors in the chat. They're trying to form a little union, aren't they? As we pull the Overton window right, these people are going to feel like the sand under their feet is shifting. So they're going to have to respond. They're going to have to react in some way. So this is your typical coming out. Don't worry, England's fine, right? We're going to be fine. Just be like us.
Fine. There's no fires
just
here.
Be like us. Yeah.
No. Was it 22 children did die in Manchester Arena? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Proud of Manchester. Let's be proud of those children that died in that.
Yeah, don't look back in anger, right? Don't look back in anger, right?
So proud of Manchester. It's tolerance all the way. Children have been killed by extremists, but
And I've always held that very strong and true to my heart.
They're going to call you a cuck for that.
No, I'm going to call you a fag. And what is with the guy in the underpants drinking? You can clearly see the sun is rising. They've been up all night in some fucking state of homoerotic debauchery. Right?
Mate, they got so pissed. They checked out YouTube and they went down the rabbit hole and they found us. And
I think they all got so pissed that the three of them did something they'd never done before and just left it. I imagine. But the guy in the underpants, right? So you look at the guy in the underpants with the beer in the morning. He's still drinking.
And
he's
his
obviously
coat on.
shagged.
He's got his fucking coat on as well.
His coat is on the pants on the bike. And these other two going like, hey, don't worry. 2,000 years of the most formidable culture the world's ever seen. Don't worry. England is safe with us. We are going to just let them all in. But I don't see any Asian or black dudes here. I don't see a group of Asian or black guys because, your television would have gone. All the shit would be out of the way. Where is... But this guy on the left, we need to find him. I think we should get him on a stream.
Yes,
we need to interview. This is a call out from the nationalist movement. We are calling out to identify the man on the left in his underpants. We need to find out why he was there. Did they give him some drugs? Did they trick him into entering? Did he go there voluntarily? Did he enjoy what was happening there? Did he enjoy what happened to him? Did you enjoy? Did they touch you over there, mate? Did they touch you over there, mate? I want to know.
Can you point to where you've been touched?
Can you point to where you've been touched? Because these two men look like they're in a sexually exploitative and abusive relationship with this.
The other theory is that they did have their black and Asian friends, and they stole his underwear and his trousers. Maybe that's where they've gone.
That could be there could be a twist. But look, I think this guy looks like he could be a conservative young male. He looks like he could be, he could be saved, right? I don't know who you are, mate, but this is not the moment of your internet glory.
You know what he was thinking? He's thinking, oh, I shouldn't have like shown my power level last night and introduced them to ethno-nationalism. Oh God, where's my pants gone now?
But I mean, this poor chap, mate. Look, I'll tell you what. We can get, we can save you, mate. These two fucking freaks. They're not freaks, but you can be saved. You look like a clean-cut young English boy who you need not to be waking up in the morning on the internet in your underpants, looking at a glass of beer. Not a good look, mate. Not a good look, right?
We'll call it a fucking cock. And to be honest, Lacey,
the cock.
I like the way the toy boy just collapsed on the couch around him.
what she made last night was banging.
These racist parties are always like, I'm acting in our country's best interest, and then you look at what's actually happened when they've ever gotten even a glimpse of power. Windrush.
Oh, you listen.
Yes!
Look at the ogre on the left, who's twice the size of the fat one on the right. Right now, the fat one on the right is massive. Look at the size of her. But the one on the left is just larger than life. And she comes in with her huge presence and goes, as soon as they get any power, look what happens. More Windrush. Do you know what, sweetheart? That was the Conservative Party, and they only deported 83 people. Yeah, there's 500,000 people in this island traceable from just the Windrush generations, and there's tens of millions more. Do you think 83 is like is horrible? You have no idea. 83 people for Windrush. You're like, that's the worst thing that could fucking happen, ever. Where are the black and brown people? Where are the black and brown people in this fucking shot? Are they hiding? Where are they? Where is the diversity you're screaming about? I don't see anyone called Abdul Mohammed. I don't see Leroy. I don't see Winston. I see fucking just a bunch of drugged, degenerate, fat women speaking with a couple of gay guys, right? And they're just going like, but my black person, but my Windrush black man. You're like, dude, you don't have any black friends. I bet you don't know anyone.
Yes. Can you name any black surnames, sir? But nah, it's just the way she said Windrush. The way they cut it to say Windrush. It's like, are you saying that? You're saying it's not even that. It's like you're saying letting in the Windrush was a bad thing. I was like, what?
Oh, that would be nice. But no chance of that. No. We don't want to mention anything about the Windrush and who let them in, right?
No. Oh no. No.
The Windrush scandal. And one of the most abhorrent things that the Conservative government has ever done, like the Windrush scandal is abhorrent, but that's what happens when racism gets power.
You've not seen anything yet, have you?
No.
There's probably a country out there who deports more than 83 people per day.
Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is, it's not even the thing that really irks me about the whole Windrush thing is it's not like it was a voluntary act of political power. It was an accident. It was actually a cock-up. It would be one thing we said, hey, look, let's start building a reverse Windrush 2.0. And then you'd be like, okay, that's a real political topic. This was just a fuck-up by the Conservative Party. That's all it was, right? Yeah. And only 83. Not very impressive.
Chipping a bunch of 60-year-old Jamaican people who've worked in a...
They were criminals. My God. What do you not understand?
I mean, would you let any of the modern Jamaican criminals into your little place you're sitting here? I notice none of them are here. You're all sitting there with your nice white liberal kind of middle class thing. You're both clearly well fed, the two women, right? These guys obviously have amphetamines or something. But these two are well fed. Don't see any black Jamaican guys in there. Don't see Raspek. Don't see the whole gangs from Speaker's Corner. None of them, right? They're just concepts, aren't they?
Yes.
Fucking virtue signalers.
Jamaica, when they don't come here in the first place because you asked them to.
Because I tried.
we asked people to come over, not by, we were never asked, but the Labour government, even got word that they were coming over when the governor told them they were, from Jamaica. So
But again, this is just mathematical fallacy.
yes,
Just under 500,000 of people in this island, on these islands, can be traced to Windrush. That's a small percentage of the people. This idea about my Windrush, we brought them in here. That's a small percentage of people here who shouldn't be here. The Windrush is a complete red herring.
Yes.
All Windrush argumentation is red herring arguments to me. Like, it's nothing to do with the mass immigration that's here.
I try to understand everyone's opinions and everyone's beliefs, and I try to respect everyone's beliefs.
Yeah.
But it's so strange for the movement to suddenly turn on and trying to say, we're not racist, it's just jokes.
When have we ever said that?
Yeah. When have we ever said that? I mean, I can't believe that. I mean, what do you want to say? That we believe that racial differences are real and races should be living separately in harmony? What do you want to hear? Racism is a left-wing idea, right? So if you say racism by your left-wing ideology, i.e. via Trotsky, I throw my hands up and say, sure, okay, I'm a racist, now what? Yeah, because I don't accept the term or definition. If I believe in-group preference for racial and ethnicities is a virtue, then me and 150 nations of the world agree. In fact, almost the entire world agrees with us, except Western liberal Europe that produces the scene. These two little fuckers went anywhere around the world, they would be mocked. They'd be mocked by Chinese people, Indian people, African people. They'd all mock you and they'd disagree with you. They would think you were traitors. They would think you were cocks. You say, oh, but that makes you a racist. You're like, okay, sure. Okay, I'm a racist. Now what? Now fucking what? Now what? Now, is that the end of your argument? I mean, now what are you going to say? Nothing.
Well,
They're nothing.
I think they're actually conflating like the Sargon tier types who will say, I'm not racist.
Yeah.
They're conflating those liberal centrists, right, with us.
Yeah. But these guys aren't very bright, are they? I'm sorry.
No.
If you take their degeneracy aside, they're not actually that clever, are they? They're just like, they think they've got this left-wing humor that's edgy, but it really isn't. I mean, is it really? I mean, do you feel like a cringe factor?
I just cringe, yeah. Oh man, the first time I watched it, I was like, I could do better. I can do so much better. And we'll get to that.
Well, what you're saying is clearly racist. And you'll even turn around and say something like, maybe Hitler wasn't that much of a bad bloke.
Matt V said to all three of us, if you could only preserve one book for the future white generations, which one would you choose? I'd say out of all the books that I've read, there's 3 books, one by a certain misunderstood Austrian painter. That is rather marvelous.
Yeah.
Okay, let's kill this bookgate once and for all for me. I mean, look, if I read, and I have read multiple times, Das Kapital, I'm not a communist. I've read Mein Kampf more than once, and I'm not a Nazi. If I read any book by anyone, if I read the Bible when I'm a Christian, but if you read the Bible and you're not a Christian, doesn't make you a Christian. The only people I would be concerned about is someone who judges someone for reading a book.
Yes.
That concerns me.
It's dangerous, isn't it?
If someone says the question was, what book would you encourage for white people?
Yes.
So Mark Collette was answering a question, what book would you encourage that spoke about white rationation? Were his words judicious or not? Who cares? I refuse to let anyone be judged. And you can't call me I'm a communist because I read Das Kapital. You can't call me a Nazi because I've read Mein Kampf multiple times. Are you judging people by what books they read and go, therefore, you must be a Nazi, right? Therefore, if you read the, some anarchist thing, would that make you an anarchist? Because that's what I assume what these idiots read, right?
Yeah.
This book, this attacking people for reading books is really just like rolling back Western civilization like 100, 200 years, right? Like, why are you attacking people for reading books? The idea is you read the book and then you disagree with the book if you don't like what's in it, right? This is just...
Or you critique it, or like many people already do. Like the scientific papers, they'll critique it if they find there's something wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to stop that as well? Do we stop there? If someone puts out a theory, you can't criticize it, or You know, it has to be from the right people now, right? You got to read. Well, I mean, that's what science is nowadays. But yeah, that's
Yeah, and look, I'm sure you two little lovely sweethearts will watch this video at some point, right? But listen up, sweethearts. I'm not white, yeah? And I'll tell you something. If a white people were fighting for their survival and they were meant to epitomize a tome written on by a white man who tried to talk about white rights, there is nothing immoral about that, unless you disagree with the value proposition that white people have a right to survive and get on with their stuff. And as a non-white person, you can't attack me going, hey, you must be a white supremacist. I'm not fucking white, right? Because the rest of the world, listen up, little you two sweethearts, they wouldn't even have this conversation with you. If you went to India, to China, Vietnam, they'd be like, why are you having this conversation? They will have books, songs, kids in school will praise the Congolese victories. Kids in Thailand, if you look at the Thai national anthem, it will speak about the Thai people fighting for victory. It is only white chaps in Western Europe that told you can't do this, because if you racinate or show white pride or white collectivization, anything to do with white re-racination, you're a racist and a Nazi. Now, you two little fools don't get this. This is nothing immoral about this. Do you actually have the balls to jump on a stream? I'll take you on a stream. I'll be very polite, ladies. I won't be mean to you. I won't be rude to you. And I'll walk you through this logic, right? Unless you take the core proposition away that white people don't have a right to have a safe homeland that they want to be all white in, then you've got an argument to make. Right, but if you think white people should be allowed to have places like England and France and Germany because it's theirs, it doesn't belong to anyone else, then this stuff is just absurd, right? I mean, it's just, I don't understand if they really believe this or they're just thick as two fucking bricks, right? I'm not sure, mate.
They're not sending their best. They're not sending their best.
No.
In spending your time trying to justify that online, that Hitler was kind of an okay chap. In fact, some of them are like, he's a damn hero.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I really, they all pretend to be like these really, we're warriors, we're on the right side of history. You've got to be brave to be one of us. Yet you won't admit to being racist or basically full-blown Nazis. You won't say that, right? Because it looks bad.
Well, no, because we're not Nazis. And the reason... If you say racist, remember, listen up, sweethearts, right, girls? The yardstick racist is a yardstick being used by your enemy to measure you and rank you. They're scoring the game against a racist card.
Exactly.
So if that means I lose my job, I lose my this, only people who I don't care about that, who are independent, for example, from that, like I count myself as such a person for multiple reasons, I'm not even white, can be bearers of the real truth. The real truth is racism means anti-white. That's all it means.
Yes.
Everywhere else in the world, I want you two ladies to listen up to this really closely. Racism means anti-white. That's all it means. Right? So when you call the ethno-nationalist racist, you're like, dude, if looking after my own is called racist, then the only thing stopping me saying I'm a racist is I'm going to get fired. I'm going to be socially shunned. You're going to try to dox me, hunt me down. Whereas you guys, you're brave because you're sitting over there because no one's going to scold you, tell you, or fire you, evict you for being called liberal or progressive or degenerate. But if I flip that on you, and I took you to another part of the world, or I took you down parts of London, or I took you into the Muslim communities you care so much, or black communities, do you think you'd get away with this behavior? If I took you to Pakistan, and the two of you are kissing and touching each other, do you think you'd get away with that? Then you'd be very scared to run your fingers through each other's hair. You wouldn't be feeling so brave then, would you, for your gay behavior? Because you'd be fucking killed for being gay. So when you say white people, they just won't come out and say they're racist, it's not because they're scared. It's because the society has wired a authoritarian state against them and a social set of powers against them. But we're going to break that through, and our job is to fucking liberate white people, mate. So watch us do it.
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm being a bit serious. I should be more giggly, Matt.
I know. In the end, we will score the game.
Indeed.
Wow. And I do not doubt for 1 second that when you're out in public, you don't espouse these views proudly.
Oh, you wouldn't.
It's like, nice one. Come on.
Coming soon, TM.
Yeah.
Time for your job interview. What are your interests and hobbies, sir? I talk about how Hitler was a cool dude sometimes online.
It'd be more like, you do a really good job interview, and just as you leave, you'd be like, dude, see Kyle.
Oh, you could get done for the police for that, right?
But you
What's
see-
Manchester?
Yeah, but you see, here's where the analogy breaks down. You guys think it's funny because institutional and social power against you going Sieg Heil,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I've Sieg Heil in Speaker's Corner just to show that how absurd is it that a brown guy can do something in the capital of the English people's city and no one else is allowed to do it if they're English or white, right?
Yeah.
But I bet you wouldn't act all gay and stuff. If I took you around the other world, I bet you wouldn't hold hands and kiss in half the world. And then what would you say? Don't you understand the difference? This is being used to suppress white people, and you're chuckling there, going, "Oh, that's so funny," because if they say seagull, that would happen. I'll tell you another thing. Not Pinky, not the girl on the left, the girl on the right.
Brain.
If you went to a job interview, let's play your scenario through. You went to the job interview, it went really well, and at the end you said, "Yeah, but I like to fuck lots of guys in my bathroom and shit, and do lots of drugs." Yeah, I just like to fuck them, and then I like to take lots of drugs. Yeah. So how do you think that job interview would go yourself? Right? How
They
do you
also
think
steal their underwear,
degeneracy? Yeah, I like to steal their underwear. And there's another guy we picked up, and he's wandering around, a younger one.
He brought him in with him.
How do you think that would go
Sitting there
down?
in the interview.
He's just wandering around. This guy. He's like
In the
our Kim.
background.
Yeah, he's like a young one we've corrupted, right? How do you think that would go down in your interview? Your analogy is flawed, mate. It's completely flawed, right? Idiots.
Oh.
Yeah. You're like, no, did I not tell you the job?
He knows. He knows. The guy knows.
He does.
One of us. You got a traitor in your midst there, mate.
Like these people that were in power that did all this horrible shit are nearly less extreme than these people.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
they were less extreme at first, which is how they got into power. They were more chill. These people, from the get-go,
They say that they have solutions.
What was that? Did you understand any of that bit?
I didn't, because the shrieking fat one on the right, she just shrieks a lot, and then the other one was also quite like, they're both really vile to look at. So really, no, I didn't understand that point. But then back to the Syria point,
Yes,
right? Come on, let's hear them.
You know, they're not just a bunch of racist people pissing in the wind online. It's like, we have solutions. And I do think, Lacey, that mass...
No, he doesn't really, does he?
No.
I'm in agreement with Pinky here.
No, thinking is not your strong point, mate. I'm not sure what your strong point is, but it's not thinking.
Immigration can be bad. You know, it creates a
Oh,
culture clash.
I agree. It can be a dangerous thing. It can actually be a dangerous thing, you know?
Well, if you let in too many immigrants...
Interesting, you notice the way they cut that?
Yeah.
You notice the way they cut that very quickly, because obviously Pinky, she decides to say something, and I don't think that goes for the narrative, and then they do the video edit cut, because obviously she said something the other one didn't like, and now it's a case of like, oh, okay, no. But here's the crux of the argument. They're like, immigration may be a bad thing if it's too quick and it's dropped in as an intense thing, and therefore they have no solutions to this. But some of it was diffused over time, it would be okay. And that's just wrong.
The argument of, in 400 years we'll all be brown or whatever. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I did it.
It's okay if it happens.
Yeah, what is the point of England if, for example, there's one Englishman surrounded by 7 completely integrated black guys all playing cricket and having cucumber sandwiches? You'd still have lost England. Integration is not the answer, right? Integration is surrender.
It's not about culture, like, at the end of the day.
No,
it's not about
they're not
culture.
English. Right, simple as that, right?
You know what?
Massive amount of them in the middle of the UK, there's a shock to the system.
Yeah.
You need time for immigrants to adapt. Really, like, they're just fucking coming at it with a chainsaw. You're like, right, I want every single fucking immigrant gone, you know, and it's all about ancestry and how white you are.
I love it.
Race creates culture.
It does. And then the other thing they say about this is, all of these, remember, there's no black or brown people in this, right? There's no scene. They're white liberals. And they never answer this question. I've tried this on so many people. I'm like, and I tried this on the Sargon types. I'm like, okay, let me run with the argumentation for a while. Let me assume there's a thing called British values, and they may or may not be connected to ethnicity. And let's pretend these values can be taught, and over X generations, call it 2 or 3, you can integrate someone. What happens to the ones who don't?
Yes.
they just run a mile from it. I'm like, so okay, I'll take the integrated ones first, on the condition that you start deporting immediately everyone who's not integrated. Then they walk away from that. I'm like, so would you kick out people who are not integrated? If your solution to immigration is integration, then I reject it.
That sounds very authoritarian.
Yeah, would you just kick him out, mate? Would you just kick him out? Well,
your liberal values, you know, your liberal values won't allow it.
Yeah, can't harm pigs in, yeah. So you have no answers to this. You're just going to you're going to sleepwalk into it. Right? That's all they're going to do.
Sleepwalking into your own genocide.
No.
It's we were saying this the other day. Like, I want one of these people to get coronavirus and wait till that black guy or that fucking Asian doctor is the one looking after them and saving their lives. You'll be fucking happier in front of you then. At that point,
So I mean, okay, so how would you feel about if one of the women in your family was victim of a grooming gang? How would you feel if you were the victim of a stabbing or knifing? What's kind of reasoning by analogy is this? You're saying, hey, I want these guys to get coronavirus, the ethnics to get coronavirus, so my Pakistani doctor or my Nigerian nurse is going to help them out, and they'll see the errors of their way. Okay, let me flip by symmetry your reasoning. How many times do the women in your family need to be groomed? I mean, before you wake up to the problem, how many times do they have to be mugged?
And how many times do they have to be saved? No, it's not even that. How many times would they have to be saved by an ethno-nationalist for them to realize?
Before you'd be dropping on your knees and offering to do what no ethno-nationalist man would accept, right? So we have Harry in the chat. Hello, Harry, mate. You featured this video.
I know.
That did happen. It's like, do you want me gone? They would literally suck that black man's penis.
No. Never.
No.
What?
No.
What? No.
Yeah. Project March? I mean, is it projection? What is this, dude? This gay thing is just... Yeah. NHS malpractice.
Oh, my God.
His dick was a snorkel and his balls contained air. They suck it hard. But they do say...
Was that meant to be funny? Was that meant to be
is that humor? What was that? I mean, I just find it really disgustingly. This is the third time I'm listening to this with you, man. I just find it just really aesthetically repulsive. Do you know? I mean, I find it looking at them, the idiot. These people are here to say, no, let England fall, give away England. These ethnics are crazy. Look at us. We're the future of the English stock. This is what the great nation of England and English people have produced. This is the final result. It's me. It's the two of us. Look at us. Me with my vivid imagery of a black man's penis in my mouth with some snorkel analogy. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just vile, isn't it? It's pretty disgusting. Sorry.
This is what our masters want for us. These two people in perpetuity forever.
No, thank you.
Yeah. The most weak, effeminate pieces of diatribe there is. Can you imagine these people trying to defend themselves against what's coming?
Anything.
God, no.
No, what's already in here? It's already on the island.
Oh, indeed, yes, but it's coming.
What would you do? Would Pinky on the left just keep slapping him with his lip? So don't take my mobile phone. Oh, please don't take my mobile phone. We're just all part of Manchester. We're just in the community, guys.
I'm proud of you.
Give me your fucking
mobile phone.
Give me your phone, pussy boy.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your black heritage. Now, I'll give you my mobile phone. Please don't attack me as well.
Windrush was really bad. Give me my phone, pussy boy. But Windrush, my Windrush. Fucking idiots, man. Disgusting.
We have solutions, and it's like, okay, we get there are problems with immigration. Yeah, we're a little more nuanced than this.
Nuanced? Not the N-word. You didn't fucking use the N-word, mate.
Did you use the N-word? The other N-word.
Not the other N-word, yeah? Did you just use the N-word, right? Okay. Look, listen, I'll be nice to you boys. I won't call you girls anymore, yeah? Why don't you debate one of us, yeah? Come on, try someone like me first, because I'm really pleasant and stuff. But if you say you're nuanced about immigration,
I think there is a twist at the end of this. I'll mention it at the end, Ralph. I don't think you know this, but there
is a twist. I'll wait.
Yes.
For the most part, yeah. But their solution is they want all immigrants gone, essentially, right? Britain for the indigenous white population.
Oh God! Where did they get this from? Like,
Yeah.
do they not listen? Did they just project their own like insecurity into this? Like, oh my God!
But let's take the
My
argument.
imaginary black friend is gonna have to go away. No.
But you take the argument even to the absurd limit, to the extremity, and it's still a moral case. If the English wanted 100% ethno-state,
Yes.
had no English, and then what's wrong with that morally? I mean, go try telling some other country that you go to Nigeria, you go to Cambodia, you go to India, and say, look, you always have to have a foreigner live with you. They look at you, go like, what? No, I insist you can never have this land 100% of your own. They'd be like, fuck off.
You must have MPs. You must have charities that protect
just
these
people.
people.
Even though you're not, just
You
people
must have
living with you, right?
institutions just for these people as well. You must have everything for the out group.
Yes.
So how do you plan on achieving this without any kind of violence? It's like, well, what we'll do is
We're trying. We don't want violence, but if we don't do anything, there will be violence. That's the fear there, isn't it?
offer immigrants 15 grand to leave the country. If I paid you 15 grand to leave the country and uproot your
Again,
entire
false logic. He's not an immigrant. Where would he go with the 15 grand? His 15 grand he's going to use a value judgment on the 15 grand in English prices. As opposed to taking that £15,000 somewhere else where it's worth anything.
I think someone did like the conversion. It was like it was something insane, like millions or something in like Somalia or something. 15
Yeah,
grand.
but I'm not even signing up to the 15 grand myself. I believe that I'm personally, and just as Ralph is not saying he's for the 15 grand. I think 15 grand sounds like a lot. I mean, I don't know. So, I'm not sure about this 15 grand. That's a different conversation. But even if it was the right amount of money plus whatever it was to give it to you, the point is he's trying to say, would you take it? But again, you don't have any black or brown people over here to ask, do you? Ask them. Why are you asking Pinky?
Yeah, ask them. Ask them,
You take it? No, it's very silly. No. It's repatriation, but then what they say is, no, that's ridiculous, obviously, because they understand that that's just foolhardy. So what they say is, no, we would have magically taken power at this point. One of our political parties will be running the country and will make life very hard for you.
Yes. I mean, that is the goal. Is it not?
No, but they have a legitimate point here that was not addressed. It's like, look, this is pre and post state analysis. What one would do as we get to power and the path to power. The path to power is not overnight. Suddenly there's an ethnic government. It's a 20, 30-year process of catching up with the Europeans, getting a 5, 10, 15, 20% of parliamentary share. At that point, you'd be brokering power. You still won't have absolute power. And in each of those tranches, if you like, sweethearts, the policies would be shifting as the Overton window shifts. What you're doing is some kind of like really naive static analysis. You're saying what's happening now is the way it will be in the future. They'll be looking at arguments of future, bringing them back, and you don't sound terribly bright. Maybe less drugs, more books. Maybe less gay sex, more reading, right? I mean, if you're going to have a pop at the ethnats, yeah? But.
Indeed.
For these immigrants to make that 15 grand look like a very good option. So we'll force them to celebrate Christmas.
What?
Make them eat English food, which sucks. And it's like, you have to understand.
Oh God, the English food sucks. Oh God, really? The food sucks. Oh God, this is the first time I've heard the Liberals say the food sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, even that's just like, mate. What do you think? What do you call English food? You mean your local Manchester chippy? Is that what you're rating as English food? Have you ever had proper English food? It's fucking delicious.
Probably not. He's probably
delicious.
Gouged on the wonderful range of restaurants, right?
The fabulous range. Yeah.
Stan, that's fascism. You're then forcing the white population to do these things. It's a fascist sort of police state.
No, you idiot. No, you idiot. That's called authoritarianism. And it's not right-wing or left-wing. It's just not in the political... You can have a left-wing authoritarianism or right-wing authoritarianism, right? And he's like, oh, you're going to be forcing people. No. See, this is the funny thing. This is just like that.
You must eat your fish and chips.
Yeah, it's like the Tel Aviv Steve of these people. Their only fear is that their liberal freedom to be degenerates will be taken away. So they're only scared of someone telling them what to do. And look at these two men, right? I mean, they're both I mean, they need someone to tell them what to do, right? Look at them. Do you think, mate, I don't know how, the guy on the right is definitely his 40s, right? The guy on the left could be 40.
Might be, yeah. Late 30s, I'd say.
Late 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the two of you and you're fucking wrecks, right? You don't have a family. You don't have a home. You're sitting there. You've picked up some guy in his underwear. You can see his shadow right there. See his head? See his head in the shadow in the silhouette. There's a young boy sitting over there in his underwear. And you're going to represent the glory of your culture and your people and tell us what to do. Look at the state of you. The reason you're in this state is because you were not told what to do. It's because you didn't have any authoritarian influences. That's why you're the degenerate mess you are. You should have had someone telling you what to do, and it's not too late to change. Join the ETNAT movement, get a number 1, get a number 2, sign up to us, and we'll change your life in 12 months. Hashtag be like Harry.
Yes.
And fascism is never really that good.
Be like, oh, these fucking race traders, this woman is tainting her genes with this black guy. Like, how transparent are you? How fucking smart do you think you are? Just fucking say it.
But yes.
Miscegenation is bad. Sorry. I mean, if you got a population of like, I don't know, 10 people left, you don't want them miscegenating. Then you'd be genociding them.
There's a deeper argument against this, and this is what they want handle. And let me go deep to your fears of racism. Is it okay for a white person to be disgusted at the idea of a black person mixing with them, or vice versa, a brown person? Let me tell you the side for the most racist people in the world. Contrary to what you think, Indian people don't look at blonde chicks and go, they're cute. They just don't miscegenate. They're the least miscegenating people in the world. Being able to look at someone else and feel that they are being repelled by it for aesthetic reasons is an evolutionary biological function in purity to protect your in-group. Mm-hmm. It is only you putting a moral judgment saying, oh, because he doesn't want to have sex with the black guy, therefore he's racist, therefore he's bad. What if he says, no, I don't want to do so because I find it aesthetically repugnant and I consider that aesthetic repelling to be a biological in-group protecting virtue? Can you see the difference? One is politicized left-wing gobbledygook, and the other is a healthy, normal biological thing. So if Indian people, for example, if you look, I'm talking about the most racist people on the planet by miles. If any Indian girl, for example, tried to date a white guy or black guy, she is so fucked, right? There's no way a white guy or black guy is going to come home with an Indian girl to their family, and the family are going to be like, oh, it's okay to see him. That's just not happening for the most part. Now, would you consider those Indian people racist? Because why aren't you having a pop of them? Why are you only attacking white people when they say it? Are you attacking Asians or Arabs, for example? Indians or Arabs? Number 1 and then the number 2 most racist people in the world are the Arabs, right? They won't fucking. You think Arab guys want their daughters to have lots of black and white boys? Are you mental? Sure, they find the idea disgusting. Right? They're actually literally disgusted by the idea, and they see that disgust as virtuous. They don't see it as a bad thing.
Let's see what happens when an Arab lassie brings home a black guy.
Yeah.
oh boy.
Hey, get the kerosene, and the petroleum bottles ready, mate.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call it honor killings, you know.
Yeah.
So one of the things is as well that's a little unsettling is there's a lot of cult-like language here. It's like this brilliant community of based, intelligent people. They do so.
Thank you. We are based and we are intelligent. Thank you very much.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Too kind.
Young people in, you know. And I think that there are a lot of people, the leaders of this movement, that are there making money off of this.
Oh no, someone made money. Oh God.
Well, it's very easy to sucker in people who are impressionable.
You know, they're like, you're a lonely person, you're at home, you're just like, I want a collective, I want to belong. And these people, as long as you think exactly what they want you to think, they will take you in, they'll blow smoke up your ass, they'll tell you you're amazing. And they particularly want like cool, young, hip people to make the movement look not like a bunch of fucking 60-year-old
The irony of the washed-out degenerate people did the same exact thing. So let me say, how many black, brown people who disagree with you are there? And how many racists do you have with you? I mean, if you're so like, hey, we're going to kick out anyone who doesn't agree with us, how many racists and fascists do you have in your collective of mates? I bet you don't have any racists or fascists, do you, as friends, right? So you can't call us one thing when you do the exact same thing, right? That's just mental.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, like, you know, here's your choice, ladies and gentlemen. You can join the liberal collective and be just like this, or you could join us and look smart.
If you were to change your mind, it's like, but we're friends, right?
2 seconds.
It's like, nope, fuck off. You don't think exactly like I think. You're gone. You're a normie now.
No, let's stop there. There are many different ideological positions on the dissident right. Many different beliefs, from economic policies to social policies.
But I want
spectrum. It's a spectrum.
But if he's talking
like,
about cross the divide, how many racist friends do you have, boys? How many racist friends do you have? I tell you what, I want to be your friend, and I'm much worse than a racist. You've never met anyone like me. Yeah, I'm much racist. Racism is amateur cockery to me. I'm much more discriminating, shall we say? So, would you have me as your friend? If I say 99% of my values disagree with you, would you accept me in your inclusion? Can I come round? I mean, I'll sanitize myself before I'll enter in a bodysuit, obviously. But when I come into your apartment, will he? No.
No. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you're not normally friends with people you disagree with, isn't it? And that's okay, I guess.
Which makes me laugh as well. They call like people who aren't extremist normies. Like, I wouldn't be offended if a suicide bomber, before he blew him up, turned and looked at me and went, "You're a normie." An Islamic extremist might refer to me as a normie, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
You think the guy who blew up those 22 children in Manchester Arena turned to those children and went, "You're normies"?
Yeah,
think he was thinking that?
Yeah, and to the Manchester dead children, it's your fucking attitude and your belief systems that allowed them. You're responsible. You liberals are responsible for the deaths, right? Absolutely responsible.
If this was an authoritarian state, it would not have happened, would it, there, boys? No. Oh,
no, it wouldn't. No.
God, fucking make me sick.
Yeah, of course. Compared to you, shit, you've gone off the deep end, man. They like to think that like technology, music, drink, drugs have like ruined the white working class.
Look at you. I just look at the state of you. Look at the fucking state of you. You've
Look
got
at the state of this video. Absolute
look at the state of the video. It's the morning. You've clearly been up all night. The young guy you picked up in his underpants was sitting erect, but is now slumped over in the window. Can you see that silhouette? He's slumped over in the window. And a bunch of degenerates.
He's climbing out the window, mate. He's opened the window. He's climbing out. He's trying to escape.
Yeah, I mean, you're painting a picture. If I took this photograph, listen, girls, if I took this photograph around the world and I showed to male collective prides of black, brown, everywhere in the world, they would laugh at you. They mock you. Some of them would say, you get what you deserve. You deserve to be overrun, right? So what are you offering? You're offering be like us. Be like Pinky and Roy. Huh?
Pinky and the brain.
We're all distracted zombies with empty lives. But I'd say the people that join this movement, they're all full of anger and they look a little empty. That's why they
all full of anger.
Anger? We're having a fucking time of our life, man. I know what you're on about.
This is the best time I've ever had. Like, ever.
I mean, you don't like it. The reason they've all shown up in the woodwork is they can see that they can see the streams, they can see the collectives, they can see that we're stronger and growing. They can feel the consciousness and they feel a bit left out because we're having fun and they're not.
Oh,
right?
So much fun.
And they can't debate us.
Yeah.
They can't debate us because they're terrified. Right? They're going to sit there going, let me make a video. Let me try to pull the other guy's underpants from the back and shit. Because you can't take on any of the arguments, right? Even your main man, the main man liberal Sargoy has cocked from debating Mark. So you have no position to stand on. And we're just going to mock you. And every time you mock you in another video, another young white boy and girl wakes up going, hang on a second. I'm going to go with the cool people who have logical arguments. And I'm not going to be like Pinky. And the drunk poor man there who's slouched over in his underpants, right? Fucking disgusting. Huh?
They needed to join this. They were suckered into this cult. They were the ones that had empty lives. They're angry people. They're very angry people. And they've all been sort of, you feed that anger, you get them on side, and millennial woes, or that towel cunt. You taste that.
Towel cunt? What? It talk about Laura Towler.
Yeah, there's a dig at Laura and stuff, right? Yeah, mate, I'll tell you another
deep call it a towel cunt.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the difference to you guys. Don't speak to women like that.
Like that.
Yeah, it's a fucking degenerate thing to do, right? It's disgusting.
Well, this is it. This is what they fear the most, isn't it? Women. Like, you know
Women,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, they fear women getting on side with us because that's always been the litmus test for how successful your movement is going. The more women that show up. And you know what? We've got plenty, and we're going stronger and stronger.
And you know the thing that doesn't get you, little boys or
Yes.
girls, whatever the fucking cross-gender you idiot, more men look up at Laura Towler than will ever look up at you. And as a man, you should be disgraced by that. And male authoritarians in our movement would look up at someone like Laura Towler and be inspired by her. And all the other wonderful women in the nationalist movement. They wouldn't give you the fucking time of day, boys.
Hail our women.
Yeah, hail Laura and all.
Yeah. You ready, Ralph? I think I've
I'm ready.
disconnected. Right, okay, yeah.
They're making bank. A lot of these people, a lot of the older, wiser ones, fuck off to Thailand. Yeah. And make these highly inflammatory videos from the comfort of Thailand when no one gives a shit. While you have like young people using the real name, putting themselves on camera, being like, Hitler was an okay man. Well, they're okay. They've got the Patreons.
Your obsession with Hitler, like, my God, what did you do?
Well, Hitler.
It's the only thing they've got, isn't it? It's the golden goose supposedly for them, isn't it?
Well, because it must go from racism, they must go to Nazism or fascism, and it ends in Hitler, right? That's all it is, isn't it?
It's just got to be, let's just do Godwin's Law and fucking, you know.
Donations, the live stream donations, they make bank. They're okay to do it. You know, it's very easy. It's easy to build up a following in this community because it's so niche.
We are bending over backwards to accommodate them when they don't respect us, and all of our culture is going to get lost in the mix of this and fucking water it down.
So are you telling me their biggest fear is that we're too weak to defend ourselves, and they're all going to...
Yes!
I mean, and these women are just disgusting, right? At the end, they're going to screech and sing, but this one, I mean, I don't even know what to say, mate. But like, yeah.
I don't know. Like, are they simping for these girls? Like, do you think they're trying to get it in there? I don't know. Like. Because there is a frightening trend with, should we say, college age, you know, these liberal guys, you know, these Antifa types who are, you know, very dodgy around women.
Well, they're probably polysexual, whatever they are. I don't know. It's just it's just like, it's such a shame that England's come to this, isn't it? I mean, it's just embarrassing to watch, right?
Like drinking themselves into
stupid
oblivion.
in the morning. Yeah.
Like, man, just look at it. Look at that fucking physiognomy right there. Oh.
Just impose everything on us.
Basically, so what is this going to get diluted?
Right. Why are they so scared?
The only thing that they have going for them is the fact that they're white.
Why?
if I had nothing else but the fact that I was white going for me, I'd take it.
Yeah, why not?
I'd take it.
I'm so scared.
I find it so funny, you'll like host a stream, and then midway through the stream, like, we've got a whole bunch of nationalism. And I'm like, I live in Thailand now.
Well, I mean,
oh God.
Okay, so let's kill this argument as well, right? So therefore, for example, if you say one cannot speak for another group or one can't speak from another place, why the fuck are you talking about black people? Why are you talking about women when you're a man? Why are you talking about more Windrush when you're not Jamaican and you're not on the Windrush and you've never been on the Windrush?
Cultural appropriation there.
Yeah. So if you can only speak for your own and only speak from the place of your own, then your entire arguments fall away. So if someone like Chris or Dangerfield, for example, or Jake and Latte, anyone else is saying, so what? The fact that they care from abroad makes them a million times more valuable to the English people than you, who are selling out from within the village. You're the people who let the enemy in the gate. And just because someone is somewhere else does not take away from their words at all, right? I mean, if there was no internet, it would be something else. But Dangerfield, Jakes and Latte has done so much more than any of you guys have ever done for England. Ever.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Yeah, just Paris.
They campaign for the indigenous people of countries, right? They're not racist. You know, they're Africa for the Africans. Not lazy. I've heard them say this.
Can I just say, who the fuck gave him the name Lacey. Is that something he chose himself, or did his parents call him that? Because I would be ashamed.
I don't think Lacey's his name. I think Lacey's the kind of name during his transitioning or something, right? Because he's
maybe.
very effeminate. Yeah, I mean,
Normally, but
if you ever call me Mary,
if you ever want to transition to the bearded lady, you know, I guess he's going for that look, right?
Yeah, indeed. Oh.
And I believe them. Africa for the Africans, but like Britain for the whites.
Really racist to me, right?
Yeah.
That's racist. God.
Africa for the Africans.
Get out your
not
fucking
a meme.
echo chamber. Holy
It's
shit.
not even a meme. This is the problem with the left. They can't understand memes. They got all these Steves, the Listers, all of them, and they just don't get contemporary culture. That's not a meme. That's not even a meme at all. It's a statement, a propositional statement. Africa for the Africans, Europe for the Europeans. It's not a meme, dude. Yeah, no, we could make memes using it. That's something else. But like, is it just me? Or are they just really fucking thick? Are they just really? Are they thick, mate? Is it just me? I'm sorry, 'cause I'm really unwell, so I'm not in full form yet. But are they just really dumb? Is that just me misunderstanding this? They're not very bright, are they?
They haven't understand any of it. The fact that they just said that the Africans is racist. They're in their echo chamber. They tell us about we're in this cult, but
where are all the
look
Africans?
at yourselves.
I don't see any Africans in your scene. Have you asked any Africans?
You've probably never gone
you believe
to anywhere
Africa belongs to the Africans, and the Africans would be like, yeah.
They're not saying America for the Native Americans, who are the indigenous people that we just fucked off, and they're not.
Oh, okay. This is the Banksy tier argument. Oh, well, then if you're an ethno-nationalist, then you should say that the whole of North America is for the Native Americans.
Okay. No, but this mad logic. Okay, there's two kind of logics here that you have to break this Iranian pornographer Banksy and his attempt to mount an argument. It's a flawed argument, right? Either I have to keep going backwards in time because this person was in this land before this one, and I have to go all the way back to 150,000 years, then for racial divergence, and all the way to 6.2 million years since we split with chimps. I have to keep going backwards, reductio absurdum, or you're going to say, okay, it's 14 for all. And would, on principle, if I want equalitarianism, which is a liberal idea of the justice equality principle, then I want to say 14 for all. But given that you're talking about two cases, you're only picking the cases because you're picking them as white cases, i.e. Australia and the United States. You're saying, would I support the moral principle and equivalence of the Apache to rise up? Sure, okay, let the Apache rise up and kick the white people off. Good luck with that. Right, same with the Abos. Let the Abos get up and let's go 14 for the Abos so they can take on the Australian Armed Forces. Then you're going to go, but you don't really mean it because you're not really supporting the Aborigines. And I said the same thing to idiots like Anti-White Steve or the Iranian pornographer Banksy or Antifa. I said, can you name 3 Aboriginal people? Do you fucking even know the name of an Aboriginal person? Any Aboriginal person, a historical one, a personal one? And the answer is no. Okay, can you give me 3 names of modern Native Americans? And the answer is no. It's just virtue signaling under equalitarianism principles. And the point about ethno-nationalism is the English should care about the English and their wider family, the Europeans. They don't need to care about the other people. It's only the liberals with this false argument that says, I'm holding you to a moral scorecard. That is a liberal moral scorecard.
If you want to throw a UN-shaped spanner into the works, I believe it's on their website. It says that to be an indigenous population, you need to be in a place for 400 years.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The magic 400 always shows up, isn't it?
I know, right?
The magic 400. Oh, what happened 400 years ago, right? Yeah.
Saying Australia for the Aborigines, which are the indigenous people of Australia that have just been fucked off and marginalised.
Marginalised. But here's another left-wing term. They've been marginalised. So listen up, boy, and I know you're going to do your homework, you and your girlfriend. But now, because you're going to, if this was live, you would be so busted by me. You don't fucking know any Aborigine people. You don't talk to them. You're not on any Abo forums. You don't take a night out of the pub down Manchester and go, nah, you know what? Let's sit down and watch some Aborigine movies. How about we settle with a nice book of Aboriginal literature? You know fucking nothing about Aborigine people. You don't care about them at all. What you care about is your moral principle of liberal equivalence that you're virtue signaling onto us. We don't care. There's not, if you ask, let's look at the world's strongest 2 ethno-states and supercultures, India and China. If you ask the Indians and the Chinese, say, what do you care about the Aborigine? You know what the answer is? I don't care. I just don't care, right? You're going to be, oh, but that's not equal and liberal. Indians and Chinese go, yeah, we're not equal and liberal.
I mean, if you had
And
asked
it's
them
not
about that,
liberal,
they'd probably ask you, are there any Aborigines in India? And they'd probably
Yeah.
try and start deporting them.
But the Indians would be like, how do they get in? Like, get them out of here. But the point is, it's only liberal argumentation and this liberal corrosion of the soul that makes you mount arguments for moral equivalence under liberal principles. The rest of the world don't think like this at all. And the answer is, sure, don't care about the abos. And I'll tell you what, neither do you care about the abos. Because if you want to stream at me, I will show that you know nothing about the abos at all. I could name references upon references to Native American culture and lose you. Because you don't know about it. You only care about, we want to love the abos. Yeah, gotta love the abos. But anyway, the silhouette guy's woken up again. He's dropped off again in the window.
He's trying to. I'm not jumping yet. He's sitting on the edge. He's like, guys, stop, please. I can't take it anymore.
He did.
Treated like British shit. So, I don't know, maybe Lacey, they're white supremacists. I just get that vibe.
Kind of comes across that
Vibe.
Oh yeah, anyone, anytime anyone's ever done anything by conquest or, colonialism, they must be white supremacists, right? Please.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't put my finger on why. I mean, it's not all the Hitler avatars, the swastikas. It's not saying that, black genetics are inferior to white. I just don't know what it is.
Oh, we've lost that beautiful white woman. She's going to have her fucking white DNA, her genes, her precious genes, are now going to be contaminated with Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. And the kids will not be white. They won't have her skin. They won't have her hair. Probably won't even have her eyes, her blue eyes. They'll, oh, God.
What happens if
And this is Woz articulating the aesthetic case against it. But this aesthetic case is not a white case. No. It's the case held by all the other races.
Yes.
It's held by all the other nationalities. Yeah. And in those nations and those tribes, listen up, white libtards, it's considered a virtue. Yeah. It's considered virtuous. It's
Purity is the virtue.
Purity is the conservative virtue axis, dimension 5. It's not said, oh, look, he finds something, because discuss sensitivity, anti-purity, discuss degradation is an evolutionary function to protect. It's why we didn't eat the poison berry. It's how we learned about toxicity. It's how we develop our axiological interest in beauty. Was beauty of, if you look at the difference between sophisticated music, look at classical music in the East versus Indian classical music. Indian classical music is very complicated musically under music theory. It's incredibly out there shit. Jazz is considered baby shit compared to it. But a Western palate for sound would not appreciate the music. Just like Indian classical musicians don't like Wagner. They've tuned themselves to different things, and that's true human biodiversity. They look at Woz articulating really strongly there why he doesn't like that idea as a disgust and why he doesn't. What's wrong with this? You're saying racism. No, virtue.
White supremacy.
White supremacy. Yeah, why not?
Oh. My eyes disappeared. No one else.
When it's gone forever, mate. That's the thing. You'll never get it back. You want that? It's like saying, oh, once the elephant, the white rhino is down, it's gone forever. Would you say to the white rhino, oh well, we know what we need to miscegenate it with the brown rhino? You won't get another white rhino out of it. It's gone.
But again, you can see once you look at the moral foundation theory and you analyze these guys, because they're not firing their purity in group preference, they're not immoral, they're just amoral. They don't see this morality. They just look, you're not being fair to the abo. What about Let's Dance by David Bowie? Yeah. Let's just put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance.
Well, that's a good point, isn't it? I mean, if they love the Aborigines or the Native Americans so much, would you tell the Native Americans and the Aborigines, oh, well, you've got to miscegenate with white people because that's okay, right? Yeah. Would you tell them to do that? I bet you wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, just try to your local Muslims in Manchester. Just try that. Just go down Manchester, find some of the Muslim communities, go in there and say, oi, Muslim gentlemen, I want your daughters to have mixed race relationships right now. And when they tell you to fuck off if they don't beat the shit out of you, I want you to then go ahead and call them Muslim supremacists and racists. I see how well that works with you, right? Yeah.
I'd pay to see that, actually.
Yeah, I'll mediate that conversation. Come on, I got some people I know in Manchester. Let's go for night in Manchester. I want you to go and take the same arguments. I want you to swap white people out. I want you to put Muslims in there. I want you to tell the Muslim guys, you see a young daughter who's 16, that nice-looking girl, Fatima? I want her to have a lot of English and black boyfriends. I want her to have mixed-race babies. Good fucking luck with that, mate.
Looks like me.
This
isn't right. Help.
And there it is. Who cares? The total nihilism of the modern age.
Can you mod me up, mate? Because I need to put links in this, so I can't post links
okay.
unless I'm a mod.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sorry, guys. I'll let this play while I do that.
What am I going to do?
I feel that they may be white supremacists.
There might be something in there.
It's slightly, yeah.
Maybe.
At least the neo-Nazis have the balls to call themselves neo-Nazis.
Like,
But
if you had the balls to just.
Yeah.
But neo-Nazi, I mean, who is, at what point are we invoking neo-Nazi ideology at all? Have we said anything that has anything to do with even just National Socialism? We've not even said anything about National Socialism or anything like that. And their go-to is, you're Nazi, because you have in-group preference, Nazi, because you have purity, Nazi, right? Nonsense.
Everything is my Nazi. Yeah. There you go. You're a moderator now.
Everything you have to say, but I'd at least respect if you had just had the balls to admit it.
Yeah, there's this idea with them. When you watch and you hear them talk, they feel like this growing, powerful, large movement. But in actuality, this is just a trick the internet plays. You know, you think like, oh, there's loads of us. It's like, no, you're scattered very thinly throughout the country. You go down the road, you ask people, would you identify as dissident right or a white supremacist? No one would say yes. No, you know, it's
Okay. So if you walked on the street and said, "Hey, do you guys believe in lots of like gay and sex and taking lots of drugs and drinking till 4 a.m?" How many people do you think identify with you? Let me give you some stats, big boys. 60%, the broad poll supports 60 to 65% of the nation are extremely concerned about immigration. If you come down that funnel across the nation, you saw the Conservative Party and Brexit were delivered by about 50, 55%. If you go down that funnel, where do you find us? You find us right at the bottom of the funnel, what we'd like to consider the vanguard, the people pulling the funnel right. We are the peak, if you like. We are the epitomizing peak of that movement to the right. Mm-hmm. So, of course, there's going to be less of us the higher up you go. But do we have broad support? Good Lord, of course we do. Oh, so do you think, so the idea that you're conflating the number of us you see online as a conflation of the people who would broadly support us, hashtag we were never asked, hashtag the Brexit vote, the great collapse of the white wall, of the working class white wall that got the Conservatives. There's mass support to us. And we're doing what we're doing despite everything being shut down, patriotic talk shut down, channels shut down, racism, fascism, Nazi. Despite all of this, we're still dominating the metapolitical narrative. Imagine what dominance we would have if the institutional power was not against us. Do you imagine how quickly the amount of people would join us? How quick they would come? If there was no cost in a value cost function in society, if it was guaranteed zero cost for you to say the following thing: I'm a white Englishman and there are too many non-white people in this country and I want most of them gone. If there was zero cost to that statement, and you could say that statement on the BBC every day, do you know how many people would join the movement? Instantly join this movement. It takes collective psychological indoctrination to stop white people feeling this. But their default state is ethno-nationalism. Their default state is what you call racism, right? So don't give me this shit, oh, you think you're bigger than you are. No, we think we're the avant-garde of the suppressed majority, mate. Yes. Cunts. Sorry.
We're the tip of the spear, and we're penetrating your back lines right now. Oh, that sounds a bit gay.
I sound a bit wrong, mate. I'm sorry, Matt. There'd be no backline penetration in the show. Matt's got Lycra Mobile.
There. Yeah, my Micromobile's running out. Oh, no. Fucking hell. Right, yeah, no, it's just when it goes quiet, I'm like, oh no, I've done it again. I dropped. But those damn packets, yeah, but I don't know where I got up to, what I was saying, but
those damn packets.
those damn packets.
those damn packets. Anyway.
We got joggers and we got packets, you know.
Fucking packets everywhere, mate. But carry on.
That fucking ridiculous. But the internet tricks you into thinking you're this large fucking ball of power. And
Well, just look what we've done with such a few small amount of people, if you think we are, and look how much reach we've got. Look, you're even having to come out and make a response video to us.
Yeah. Well, they're chasing our tail now, aren't they, man?
Yes.
Have you seen them all? I want them to say, you guys are, like you have the Tel Aviv stunning.
We're the Pied Piper, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, you can't do anything. You guys are useless. You never do this. You never do that. And you can't
yeah, you're
fucking
also
stop.
scared.
Yeah, if you don't think we're kind of come to anything, leave us alone. Let us just go ahead and do our mass indoctrination and grooming of white boys and shit. Why don't you just run along, right? But no, they're just going to keep following us around. As Caribou says, nicely love packets and joggers. Yeah, it's full of fucking packets and joggers everywhere. Yeah, fucking, and there you are, defenders. I'm sorry, I'm not English, but I can't relate in a certain way that you can. But if I was an Englishman, I would be disgusted by these two. I'd be so ashamed of this dude.
I
You
am
fucking left your side down
it's
badly.
It's like you went to university and you never grew up.
Yeah,
it's that's the state that these people are in. It's like you go to university, you're totally degenerate in your first year. You drink every day, and you never got out of that mindset. It's just, that's probably to get through university these days with fucking 73 genders and Congolese people don't care about their IQ because they don't care about education or something. I don't know. Those are the things that you're subject to these days at university. It's not an education. It's
no, but you know what it is? It's the weakness, right? Is they were deracinated, they were cocked, they were given substances, they were atomized, deracinated, and they've succumbed and yielded to themselves. So basically, they're self-gratifying, self-satiating,
self-medicating. They're
self-medicating, self-gratiating experientialists. Their life is measured by how they feel, what they enjoy, right? And as long as something doesn't threaten that, they're okay. But there's nothing beyond above them, and that's what's so disgraceful that they're Englishmen. Because what a fallen sight to see. It just should double our effort up, right? We should be 10 times more committed when you look at people like this to make sure you never lose, right? Okay.
And they speak like they represent the British white working class. It's like
we represent it more than you do. My God, champagne socialist types that you are. Okay, now.
I think you mistake it. It's not the class problem, it's the race problem. You don't represent the English people. I don't care what class you are. I have no problem if you're working class or upper class. You have no right to speak to English people at all. That's what you are.
You're a minority. Yeah. You don't represent anything. You don't own the British white working class. We're British white working class.
Yeah, you know what, mate? I'll take you around some white working class areas I know with some old-time mates of mine. Just like the two of you, yeah? With your little beard and your gay little My Little Pony shirt. And when you come down the pool in the estate, I'll take you down some pubs where I play pool sometimes in the estate. I want to see how well you come and say, yeah, we're white working class, lads. You're going to be called poofters. And you're going to get your shit kicked out of you, right? Just for acting and looking like the way you are with your little big
You're going to be used as a snooker cue in a game of pool.
You don't represent, and you might think you represent the working class, but you really fucking don't. And and I can definitely assure you don't represent English people.
This will never work. Nothing.
Oh, guys, stop! Please stop! Don't do it, guys. It's never going to work. You just stop right now.
Yeah,
you're never going anywhere.
Sounds like their CV.
I've heard this all before. Same rhetoric, isn't it? Oh, you're never going to get anywhere, guys. Please stop! Please stop! You're making our lives miserable.
But that's their CV, isn't it, Malpractice? Never worked.
Yeah. Hashtag. It never worked. It was never real. certain. Das Kapital reference there.
Is this extreme is going to actually get enough votes to fucking get in government? and implement any of these ridiculous things. And in about a year to 2 years, this movement would have gone. This isn't right.
No, you idiot! How do you think Johnson's in power? How do you think Brexit happened? How do you think Trump happened? Are you guys that thick? Have you just taken so many drugs with that little silhouette of the slumped up young man in his underpants to realize that politics is downstream from metapolitical, from ideas? Ideas create political forces that create culture. Alt-right 1 gave you Trump and Brexit. Alt-right 2 are going to set up the ethno-state. The ethno-state is coming by Alt-right 2. Alt-right 3 will get the job done, right? Or will be a civil fucking war. Yeah. But you won't be involved, will you, Pinky and Pokey? Pinky and Pokey.
Yeah, and they'll have to fucking regather and rebrand. Yeah, dude, it's like millennial woes, man. He's a professional sort of racist. It's more of a career thing for him, I think, though. You know, he has a dedicated following of people. And you watch him, he's this like sort of angry sort of man in dim light, peering out, vlogging at you.
Oh my God, he's got a cat.
I know. I wasn't sure why he was leaning forward. I was leaning back. When he leaned forward, I kind of went backwards. Going, what happens here? And he picked up a cat.
Yeah, don't watch this at home with your 3D glasses on, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Our fucking white DNA contaminated with Africa.
Why are they playing this again? Are they trying to do it for like effect or something?
I think they just want to try to rub it on because they align white. But let's take these messages head on, like we've done it before. And I repeat the message once more.
Yep.
It is virtuous and a matter of virtue to defend your ethnic stock, and therefore to see it mixed with something else can be seen as a disgust sensitivity. This is not racism. This is him expressing, this is Wozy expressing in-group preference and virtue of purity. You're not going to call us, you're not going to shame us on this. We're not going to look at it and go, oh, I'm embarrassed that Woz said this. Not all. Forget about it, guys.
Nope.
But, you know, he suckers a lot of people in with that sort of intensity. It's easy. A lot of these people, like, they have shit lives and they're looking for something to blame. It's easy to blame the immigrants for your failings. But ultimately, if you don't have
26% of the NHS workers are BAME. 8% is malpractice. How is that my failings?
Do we want to go through per capita crime figures? Per capita, how many times? What about unemployment figures?
Terrorist attacks,
crime representation. How about the other side? How about the positive? Positive immigrants are also bad for England. Most of the Indians are dominating in cabinet, in government, in school performances. So all the positive immigration is also bad for the English people. So tell me what's great about, don't use the word restaurants. And can you tell me what's great about migration, mate? Without using the word restaurants.
have a job. You know, if you're there like, I got bullied in school by an Asian dude. It's easy.
If you got bullied in school by an Asian, you probably got stabbed. Just saying.
To just blame the entire immigrant population when it was you that could have done something different.
Well, we are doing something different. We're trying to stop it, mate. We're here. Tip of the spear. Ooh.
You could have changed things. You could have got yourself a job. Get off your ass. Do it.
Says the two fucking laughing students. This is like a modern version
4-year-old
of the young
students.
One. Yeah, you look at these guys. You're like
it's not the 4-year-old virgin. It's
a
the 4-year-old
student. You picked up some vulnerable young man. No doubt you've done things with him that I can't imagine, and you're going to corrupt him too.
So
well, England is burning,
experiences.
Right? Yeah, well, the Manchester Arena, you're so proud of Manchester because it was gay and lesbian. You weren't proud of Manchester for fucking anything Manchester gave, like their world, the Industrial Revolution, for example. Not proud of that bit of Manchester, but hashtag don't look back in anger, yeah? You are the guys and your liberal ideology are responsible for the deaths of the children. I hold liberals and the left responsible for Manchester.
Really way more society than half of their following does.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Lacey.
Oh, nice.
I mean, just look at the state of their kitchen. My God, like it's alcohol,
just
fucking
vodka bottles, just cheap rubbish over here, just like smoking, beer cans. Is that weed? Degeneracy.
Probably.
Yeah, degeneracy everywhere. And they're like, don't worry, this is the England. This is the England we want to let the world know. This is the England we want to save. The rest of the world, listen up, you little ladies, you absolute clowns. When the rest of the world looks at this, they don't think of the England they wish to see. This is not the England they want. They think of the England they've admired, that they've, think of a Japanese person coming to England or Indian tourists. They think of Mary Poppins. They think of Her Majesty the Queen. They think of all this wonderful imagery. They think of idyllic English countryside. They look at this and they think it's disgusting. You're letting England down. You've let yourself down. You're middle-aged men, and you're letting your nation down. The rest of the world looks at this and would find this disgusting. Yeah, it's disgraceful.
I have a question.
Yes, Lacey. It's a cast iron wok, you see. Now, the thing is about cast iron woks, you must season them after each use. If you respect the cast iron...
No man has ever fucking seasoned his cast iron wok.
I don't know what this is all, man. What's with this? Yeah, I mean, this is some weird fucking Asian food fetish thing going on. Okay, I get it. Like, my missus is into food. I get the food fetish. But I don't get this wok thing. Yeah, this is something that missed me. I'm like...
The wok will respect you. Thank you for taking it in.
Is that where you get your moral compass from? Your fucking
yeah.
wok.
And look at that face of his right now. Look at that face, mate. One fucking walk right across his face. I was just walking back into sobriety. Look at that face. I just look at him. I mean, it's like doe a deer, a female deer, isn't it? It's just like what is this? Look at this dewy-eyed. You will not survive a minute when the troubles come, mate. You wouldn't. Look at you. But what about me walk? Me little walk. Oh,
interesting. Me nothing to do with the wok at all.
What the fuck do you want then? I'm seasoning me wok.
All right, calm the fuck down. Jesus. Well, it's just about this alt-right thing. Like, aren't they really savage? And, like, they want to, like mass attack everybody who speaks out against them.
Hello, we're here. Hi.
Hello. Nothing savage other than our words, right?
I know. Savage words.
Yeah.
Words of violence.
Yeah, because that's just a proxy that scares you. What's behind the words, isn't it? You have the images of the. But I won't say anything yet, Malpractice.
Lacey, I mean, you know, they're quite a small little sub of the right wing, really. They're not a massively mainstream group, so they tend to be quite organized and attack in waves. It's, you know, it keeps people talking about them, and fuck knows, they might not ever see this video, Lacey, but one thing is for certain, Mileto, they ain't as savage as this wok.
Oh, look at you. And you're really just. It's really a pathetic. I mean, he is atomized, emasculated, and deracinated in a single package. He's given up his gender, his sexuality, he's given up his country, and he's just given up his nation in a single image of sheer worship the fucking wok, isn't it?
Worship the wok.
Worship the wok. We must follow the wok. Ooh, the wok.
The wok will guide me.
The wok will guide you.
Like that wok.
It's a fucking nice wok, isn't it, Lacey? It cost me 20 quid this. But Lacey, look, if you're having second thoughts about attacking the dissident right, I watched a stream lately, and the host of the stream was my boy Jakes and Latte, right? And he had a bunch of sort of dissident right people, and he asked him to give a message to their enemies. And Lacey, I might have been scared had I had not seen this message my boy Harry gave us over here, but he comes at it with
God bless Harry.
Yes, God bless Harry.
Yeah.
Yes, of Louis Theroux uncomfortably trying to deliver a wrestling promo, Lacey.
I'm sorry, before you start this, you listen up, sweethearts, both of you, yeah? You are about to use this clip to try to compare Harry, who's got peak optics, against Louis Theroux, who's halfway between, well, let's just call it a quarter between Harry and you would ever be. And given that your performance so far has been pathetic beyond belief, you're going to try and fail badly to mock Harry? Can you compare Harry's optics for 40 minutes compared to your optics with you and the degeneracy in your flat? Are you for fucking real? Do you think anyone in normal, ordinary English people will look at you, middle-aged men in your degenerate fucking flat against a young boy, sharp, articulate? Who do you think they're going to pick for the optics, eh? But keep that in mind, sweethearts, when you watch this, because I know you're watching this.
Got a message for our enemies.
Pure and simple. We know you're scared, and we're coming for you.
Waldo's the name. London, England's the place of origin. A new face on the block. I'm going to wrestle Pistol Pez Watley.
All right,
Yeah.
your time's up. Your time of grifting's up.
Is he going down? I hope so. He's good, but he's been in the business a long time, and it's time for a new face to take over.
Your time of subverting the European peoples up. All right, we have this, what is it, tolerance and apathy are the last virtues of a dying society.
I'm going to throw every
Get in there,
move
Harry.
I know.
Nice
I've been
Aristotle
practicing.
quote.
I've been
Yeah.
trying really hard, and I'm going to get in the ring. His time is over.
And we Europeans, we're nice and accommodating until we're not. I really think that things aren't going to be looking hopeful for you guys in the future.
I'm sorry, but look at the difference in optics between a young man. Sorry, Harry's in the chat. Cover your ears, mate. But a young man with the future ahead of him, looks sharp, he's articulate, he's got his shit together. Yeah, and he's still quite young, 21, whatever it is, against these degenerates at 40, trying to make the claim that Harry's optics are bad. I mean, cognitive dissonance, is it optical dissonance? If I put the two of you side by side, I went to the mainstream and said, who would you consider the person you'd rather listen to over 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours a day in a week? I bet you no one's going to listen to you boys, right? At all, right? But I can see Harry on the television. I can't see you on the television unless it's looking for lost pets or something.
Yes. It's all about the media presence, isn't it?
So you have a chance now to apologize.
This Saturday, tune in. Pistol Pez Watley, the legend, with the utmost respect. I'm afraid to tell you that I think you are going down.
Oh, Kyle, you're not going to believe this. Not only have we got a virus, but now there's an online group of neo-bloody Nazis rising up. This is terrible. Kyle, you've got to do something.
Merrick, prepare the car. We're going to war.
Yes, we are going to war. And I've
We are
prepared
going to war.
something for these lovely, effeminate men that we have here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one, the only, share screen, and there we are. Right. Are we ready? No, that's not the right one. There we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's back by popular demand, but we have a soundtrack to go with it. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There's our war cry.
That put me off. That put me off my lunch. I have this nice asparagus coming my way, and suddenly I don't feel hungry anymore. The gay Teletubbies. Gay Teletubbies are it. But is any more of this dribble to watch, my man?
There's like a minute or two, but I mean, do you want to finish it off?
Yeah, might as well finish off. Have our closing comments on these two clowns, and hopefully they won't bother us anymore. I have a feeling they'll make more videos.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm terrible today. I'm all thumbs today.
Yeah, just put away all your Heidegger referencing. And stuff. Okay.
Oh no!
All the 17 tabs are just Heidegger. Oh, sorry, that was me. Yep.
Yes, they dress up as Batman for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh no, I forgot this. Oh dear, this is them butchering System of a Down, isn't it?
I think
this
so.
is the worst butcher of System of a Down I've ever heard, so fuck that. So I don't know, these guys made no arguments. Here's my reaction. I came in for logic.
Yeah.
They made 6 claims, all of them rubbish, none of them substantiated, bit of name calling, degeneracy. You know, I think like them, Banksy, Lister, all of these fucking idiots, Tel Aviv Steve, they've all woken up to the fact that we're just gaining in speed and traction, and they're trying to copy and run around after us, right? I expect more and more of these. I expect these guys. You know, there are more of them. I noticed the Iranian pornographer Banksy was in their chat stream, as was Gaylord Simon, you know, and all of the rest of them. So they're obviously all going to come. They're going to form this middle union, isn't it? So to those who don't know, Alphabet Annie, the Israeli
the Teletubbies are coming for us, guys.
Leslie Israeli Leslie is on Busker Patriot stream tonight for For Britain, so that should be it crashes with PWR, of course, so it would have to be a double tab issue to have that up there, because obviously PWR is much more important than but it must be comedic gold to have Busker and Alphabet Annie on tonight in the same show, so that could be quite good. Did that 7 o'clock, right? I think your Lycra mobile cut out again, mate.
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, there you are. Yeah.
Right. Well, right. Okay. My life. Damn packets.
Damn packets.
Yeah.
Fucking packets
Actually,
everywhere.
our guy Harry is actually going to be debating them on Saturday. These guys, Pinky and the Brain, are going to be debating Harry at 6 p.m. on Rev's channel, unless they back out, obviously, unless they see this.
Is that today or Saturday?
On Saturday, 6
so
p.m. I believe. Yeah.
Harry's in the chat. Harry, Harry, do
Brain.
you need me today, or is it for Saturday, mate? I know Harry's in the chat. I thought he was debating today. I'm just so fucking corona fluid. I can't keep my calendar straight. But yeah, okay. I was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to give Harry some tips, but I thought it was for today. So okay.
No. It's 6 p.m. on Saturday, I believe.
6 p.m. on Saturday. Oh man, Harry, that's going to be a laugh.
Yeah. So we'll enjoy that. So yes, guys, thank you for a wonderful day. But if, as I said at the beginning of the show, if you want to do some artwork, we'd be fantastic. We'd welcome that. We'd love it. I mean, anything with Teletubbies, like I think that's going to be our mascot. I mean, our enemies are Teletubbies.
And I'm trying my first D-Live stream today at 3 o'clock. I have Dangerfield and Ralph at 3 o'clock. If you want to look at a dangerous reaction to the world, fingers crossed, that should go all right. So, and otherwise, I think it's PWR at 7. Yeah. So.
Yes, as well with Gavin Booby. So yes, plenty to look forward to today, and we'll see you guys later.